Hi, my name is Dan Stratton, and I'm the founder of Safe Defense, Karate's Missing Piece. Safe Defense is an authorized Koshishori Kempo self-defense. James Matosi, the 21st bloodline descendant in the Koshishori family, has stated that true self-defense is to protect yourself without injuring your attacker. In part one, we learned peace talk and peace think and learned what to say in order to focus on the problem instead of the person. Here in Peace Moves, we're going to learn how to protect ourselves against a physical attack without hitting back, how to stay safely out of range using acceptable distance and acceptable direction. So with Peace Moves, we consider an attack to require acceptable distance, acceptable direction, and the intention to harm. With acceptable distance and acceptable direction, what that really means is that the opponent is on the path and in the path area of the attacker. The path is like the path line, only instead of thinking of it in terms of a line being between you and somebody else, we're going to think of it in terms of a breadth of path. That is, path from foot edge to foot edge, and this area in between. Often people think of path line and they think in terms of their center extending out towards somebody else's center, and it's a thin line. Okay, we're going to change. We're not going to be so interested in that as we are in the thickness of the line and the path being from foot edge to foot edge. You can see here I've got a path and we're both on it. I'm going to want to honor that path first by positions and then by using my hands, by focusing on the path rather than the person. Even when that person is attacking us, we're going to change our way of thinking and stay out of their reach by staying off of their path. Our second technique will be one of the bridge. Now, the bridge is a way to help someone who is no longer able to make contact with you. Okay, the most basic technique of Peace Moves will be the bridge. It is a bridge between someone's physical assault and then the verbal de-escalation with peace talk. And so it's a bridge between those two. Okay, the bridge will be, stop, what's the problem? Okay. Go ahead and show me that. Stop, what's the problem? This fundamental technique is the real difference between Peace Moves and martial arts. Martial arts, you have to go after the person in order to apply your art. With Peace Moves, that's not true. Stop. What's the problem? Now you may be wondering, well, what do you do once you kept yourself safe without stopping the attacker from actually trying to attack you again? And that's where the bridge comes in, and that's why the bridge is so important. The bridge gives you somewhere to go besides counterattacking or running away. The bridge is a way to offer them to come to the problem of intention by peace talk, by saying, stop, what's the problem? In keeping with the Koshishori motto of protecting yourself without injuring your attacker, you need to keep in mind that for Peace Moves, the purpose is not to defeat your opponent. The purpose is to keep yourself safe while keeping yourself in a position of advantage and safety. As you can imagine, peace hands and path go hand in hand in a lot of different ways. For example, when we're using the path with distance, we're going to hop back with our hands up, and our hand motion here is in number one, going to be this kind of a lawnmower kind of action where anything entering its influence will be hit down. I'm striking on the in stroke with my hands like this, okay? And then when it comes to the path and direction, well, I want to get off the path either here, slipping to one side and then slipping to the other, or going to my path edge, here, 2, 3, and then practicing on my edge of the path. So now I've got my path relative to my opponent, and now I've got a way to use my hands relative to whatever path direction I choose to take. When it comes to going backwards, we're going to hop back and say, stop, what's the problem? If that doesn't work, I'm going to use this motion here, as though, go ahead and reach out and grab me with 2 hands. Well, I'm going to hit your hands here, and then I'm going to say, either stop, what's the problem, or I'm going to wait to see what you do. Go ahead and stay there, and then reach out again to get me. Okay, so we have Peace Hands 1, which we're going to use just with distance. And Peace Hands 1, from our position here, is going to take a motion like this, because that's how one would attack a hand, for example. So if you were to step forward there, I'm going to hit your hand here, let you know I'm here, and then if you wanted to re-attack me again and step in again, I'm going to be here. Again, changing my target, staying safe, but hitting your hand instead of your body. Peace Hands 2, what we're going to do is simply step off the path here and keep you on my path. So if you'll step forward right here, go ahead. There. What I've done is I've gotten off your path and kept you on mine, and that gives me the advantage. Grab, hit, whatever, here. Now you come again with the other one. Okay, now.
When I'm in the right path, like you said, or the line of sight and everything, is it the way I have myself
There you
like
go.
this? And then when you throw the next one.
Look at that. If you were to walk forward, you would run me over. That tells me I'm on your path.
Gotcha.
But you're off of mine. So Peace Hands 2 is going to be 1, shifting off the side. Okay, if we're going this way, then our hands are going to come this way. Well, okay. If the person's right here, exactly right. Without all the footwork. All you're going to do is take a little lean. There you go. And then lean back. Yes. So we got 1. Stay on my center here. So now when I come at you again, you're going to, there. Nice.
Now that probably.
I like that.
You know what? It felt better because my body positioning was more secure.
It was centered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now rotate. There you go. Good. Notice how with Peace Hands 2, they're always on your center here, and if your center is always halfway between your path edges, then no matter what direction you turn to, you've got centers already automatically lined up. Much better. Okay. Good. I'm going to step off your path line here and actually go edge to edge with you. I'm just going to go edge to edge here to edge here. I'm not going to turn my center on you in this particular technique or way of moving our hands. I'm going to, however, honor this shoulder line, which is the same as our foot line, which is the same as each of our path lines. So it's here. I'm going to match you exactly. I'm going to take this hand at 45 degrees, and your shoulder is going to be there because my footwork and position is right. I can do it with my eyes closed. So go ahead and grab. It's going to be right here. Okay, the other hand is going to be right behind it here as this slides here. And for technique, Peace Hands 3 is exactly that. Stand still for a moment. It's stepping here and working the hands here. Go ahead and reach, grab. See how I'm being a shadow? Peace Hands 3 works with path edges. It really won't work with center line unless you make alterations to it. But as you're learning it, it really is how to deal with your hands on the path edges. Peace Hands 3, we're going to actually do like the diamond hop, so we're going to get off of their path line again, and you understand what I mean by that. It'll be the far hand first here, replace it with the back of the hand, and now we get this motion right here. Everything is happening not on our center, but to the side, our side wall. Here, see? Now, if I wanted to use it, I'm just going to remember for now, Peace Hands 3 is how to keep yourself safe without injuring your attacker. Good. Now, don't freeze on that. There you go. And again, there. So it's like, boom. What I like is that you've got your foot and your hand timed together, as they should be. What I don't like is you're stepping to the side rather than to the forward diamond position. Okay. There you go. Good. Okay. So now you've gotten a good look at Peace Moves, and you've seen that the Peace Moves is centered around path and the width of path and keeping things on your path and staying off of other people's paths. You've seen Bridge, which is a way to take an opponent from attacking you physically to attacking you verbally so that you could then move into Peace Talk. You've seen piece hands 1, 2, and 3, and seen how each piece hand works differently with the path and where your opponent is relative to that path. You have the center line, and you have the edge line, and then you have your opponent relative to that. There are only 3 stances in this safe defense movement. The one is with your feet together naturally like this, and the other is if we were to take a picture, a snapshot of somebody's walking. Of course, everybody would have a slightly different walk, but mine would be here, and so this is my second stance. It's something I've been doing all my life. I'm well balanced with it. I have control of direction with it. This is a good stance for me. The other stance, of course, would be the other foot forward. So those are your 3 stances. Your feet together, 1 foot forward, or the other foot forward, as though we were in a walking movement. Because our stances are natural motion, and we've already learned how to do that, in fact, we're very well practiced at that. Peace Moves really tries to capture the path that those natural walking steps take. And so it's a clear and articulate path means how to control not only your path and your direction, but your attackers. Trick, of course, is when you step to an angle, like this, for example. We typically will take some sort of either karate stance here, or an awkward stance of some kind, but we want that very same stance here so that we can continue walking, because that's what we've been doing all our lives. The other exercise I want you to practice is what I call the diamond hop. Now, anytime I want to move my body to the left, I'm going to lead with my left leg. If I were going to the right, I would lead with my right, just like that. I don't want to cross over unless I'm doing it on purpose, and that's not what we're practicing here. This is a basic, what I call diamond hop. Now, a diamond is a square turned 45 degrees. So if you can imagine a square around this ball turned 45 degrees, I'm standing on a corner. And what I want to do is hop here to this corner and then hop to this corner, which again, you notice puts me on the path behind the ball or the other person. Here's my other one, hopping backwards, leading with this leg, and then again, back where I began. My handwork, as you watch me do this, will be helping myself hop, hopping, hopping. One trick that really helps me is I learned how to ice skate, and either it's ice skating or roller skating or cross-country skiing, there's the same kind of pushing off motion that you use with your feet. And that's the same kind of motion we want to use to launch to our different hopping areas. Only we want to take off like a skating motion, but we want to land with a hop. And so that's really the difference between skating and actually hopping with a Peace Move hop. Okay, one of the exercises I would want you to practice in learning about acceptable direction is, you can see here's the path line, here's my attackers as replaced by the ball. Here's the center line right here, and you can see that our center lines are matched up. And so my first motion here, I want to make sure that my center line is matched up. I'm going to swap my feet and move directly to the side here, and then again, and then again, and then again. Just like that, so that I practice actually reorienting my center and my path to my attacker. So when I say articulated path, I mean to say here's my walking path here, right along the center. Here, as I do circle hopping, there's my path. Okay, and so it's really just about learning to stop wherever you're at and being able to make a normal walk. Now we want to establish our hands as we did with the bridge, to show that we don't want to fight and to keep them on our center line. And following my hopping pattern using acceptable direction, I'm going to move my strong arm here because I'm going this direction. If I were to go to the other side, this would be my strong hand. But I need to make sure that I balance by bringing both my hands up so that it would look like this. Okay, and you can see me making smaller motions using my strong hand. Just like that. So you can see that we have combined Peace Hands 2 with Circle Hop. Okay, so now the difference between Peace Moves and everything else is that Peace Moves is designed to keep yourself safe without injuring your attacker. It is a true self-defense that way. And when I think about martial arts as your only way of self-defense, I think of the man who only has a hammer for a tool. If you only have a hammer, then every problem is going to look like a nail. Okay, so with part 1, you learned Peace Think and Peace Talk. Here with part 2, you learned Peace Moves, how to keep yourself safe without injuring your attacker. With part 3, we're going to learn about Peace Map. We're going to learn about the process of peacemaking, and then we'll see how it's used with mediation, for example. We already have learned how to use it with Peace Talk, and we'll look at that too. Counterattacking for a self-defense is already overdeveloped, in my opinion.